What's going on, everybody? This is Brian from SneakerFiles.com, recapping the news. And before I jump into things, like always, greatly appreciate a thumbs up. And if you're new here, subscribe by hitting the button below. Now, in this video, I have more 2025 Air Jordan leaks. The leaks are going to continue to come this week, and the highlights in this video would be that the Air Jordan 1 Low OG Chicago will be returning during the holiday 2025 season. As well, I have new details on another Air Jordan 11 dropping next year. This will be the third pair to be released, as well as a new collaboration between Nigel Sylvester and Jordan Brand on the Air Jordan 1 Low OG. Now, in this video, there is a lot more from Jordan Brand, and we got a good amount from Nike. And now, let's jump into the news. I'm not sure who would be interested in this, but Drake's NOCTA Nike Air Force 1 Low Certified Lover Boy is restocking again. And the reason I'm saying I'm not sure who would be interested is because the last time they restocked, they sat for some time. Now, if you're a fan, I totally get it. They originally dropped in December of 2022. We saw a restock take place in November of 2023, and then once again, they're going to be available, but this time on December 11th. Now, these are loaded up on the Sneakers app, so you'll be able to grab them there, and the retail price will be $160. Now, there's two other NOCTA Nike Air Force 1 Lows that are releasing. I did share them in a previous video, but just to give you the heads up right now. One pair is known as Palest Purple, and then the third pair is known as Citron Tint. As most of you know, Nicole Hause will have her own Nike SB Dunk Low releasing, and they just popped up on the Sneakers app, so a release date is locked in. Now, to go over this pair, it features a white, university blue, midnight navy, and pure platinum color combination. The overall theme is very clean. It features white leather throughout, and then we have blue shades across the swoosh with an argyle-like design. The same shade of blue lands on the liner, and on the heel we have Nike, which is cut out, and underneath it you can see the argyle print peering out. They also come with a chain. It's kind of like a punk rock inspired look, and the tongue labels will feature Nike SB and her name written in cursive. Other details includes a white midsole and a matching rubber outsole. The outsole part I'm not a huge fan of. I think these would have looked a lot better if they used that shade of blue on the rubber outsole, but these are still nice. And as for the release date, they will be released on December 17th, and the retail price will be $125. Official images popped up of Nigo's Nike Air Force 3 Low in Baroque Brown. Now, these are going to be released sooner than expected. At least that is the rumor for now. But for this pair, it features a Baroque Brown, fur, hemp, and pecan color combination. Now, the inspiration for the shoe also comes from the Planet of the Apes. That's why we have the brown, hairy fur material across the base. And then the insoles feature a graphic inspired by the film. I think the insoles look really dope. I'll make sure to include the image in this part of the video. But other than that, they feature a mixture of materials. And most of the shoe comes dressed in shades of brown. And then we have green on the swoosh, top eyelet, liner, and part of the midsole. Nigo branding lands on the tongue, as well as Air Force branding. And then on the left heel, we have Nike Air. On the right, it says Nigo Force. These are dope. I actually like these a lot. I like the Air Force 3, the model in general. I hope eventually this is a sign that we'll start seeing OG colorways return, as well as the high top version. But as for the expected release date, as of now, they are rumored to drop on December 19th, and the retail price will be $160. I probably should have talked about this in the previous video, and I've heard rumors about this pair returning for some time now, but Paul Rodriguez previewed his Nike SB P-Rod 1 in white and black. Now, this will be the 2025 retro, which will celebrate the 20th anniversary of the shoes. Man, I can't believe it's been 20 years since he dropped his first shoe. I remember when those dropped. It was a big deal because this is Nike Skateboarding's first signature skate shoe. P-Rod has 10 signature shoes. The P-Rod 1 is dope. They released a lot of great colorways. And I'm kind of hoping that we eventually see some retros of those older colorways. For example, the J-Rod, that would be great to see return. There's also a Futura collab, would like to see that. Now these are very close to the OG. The only difference that I notice, and it could be the lighting, is the tongue branding. Now on the OG pair, the branding was white, but here it almost appears like it's metallic silver and it's kind of darker due to the lighting. But yeah, this could be also a sample, and what actually releases could be on point to the OG. Also, before I forget, there was another retro of the shoe that took place in 2015, and that celebrated the 10th anniversary of the shoes. But as for the release details, this pair is expected to drop summer 2025, and the retail price will be $110. In the last news video, I talked about the upcoming Supreme Nike SB Dunk Low in white and metallic silver. We received a first look, but the other day, we also received a first look at 2 additional colorways, one known as Ink, the other known as Camper Green. So this brings it up to 5 pairs releasing between Supreme and Nike SB during 2025. Personally, I think these 2 colorways look a lot better than the white and metallic silver. The Ink pair features Ink, which is a shade of purple, iron gray, and black. Now the overall look, it could be due to the lighting, it reminds me of the Hulk. I know it's not green across the base, it's gray, but it almost looks green in some of these images. Maybe I'm seeing things, but you can let me know down below. And then the other pair that we have a first look of comes dressed in a camper green and black colorway. Each pair in the collection will feature the same theme. We'll have 94 embroidered by the heel, which represents the year that Supreme was founded. They also come with a Nike SB and Supreme orange hang tag. Supreme will also be debossed onto the midsole, and then co-branding will run across the insoles. Now, I'll be honest, if they release these colorways as an inline or a GR, I would definitely pick them up. Now, since it's a Supreme collab, you know they're going to be limited, hard to obtain, they're going to be hyped, and I wouldn't see myself paying resale for either of these pairs. So I do wish that they would, release something like this as a GR, because I would wear this pretty much daily, both pairs. But that's just my opinion. Of course, let me know yours down below. Now, as for a release date, the rumor is that all 5 pairs are going to drop in May of 2025, although that isn't confirmed, and the retail price will be $135 each. Moving on to Jordan Brand, and images popped up of the Air Jordan 4 RM being called Easter. Now, there's nothing on this shoe that connects to Easter. It's just the colorway being used. It also has like a spring vibe. And the official colorway is Photon Dust, Hyper Pink, Cell, Coconut Milk, and Hydrogen Blue. Now the pair does feature various materials including suede mesh and ballistic nylon. We have off-white across the upper with hydrogen blue suede around the mudguard. They also come with an aged midsole. And just off topic here, I'm usually a fan of the aged midsole. I like it a lot, but at the same time, I don't think every shoe needs to have it. Yeah, it kind of goes with this one, but yes, I will admit that Jordan Brand has been overdoing the aged midsole. I know a lot of you don't like it, and they should probably scale back on that just a bit. That's just my opinion, of course. And then adding some additional pop, we have pink, which lands on the tongue branding within the air unit, and areas on the outsole. Now, as for a release date, this pair is expected to drop spring 2025, and the retail price is $150. Now, just another thing I wanted to touch on. I know a lot of people aren't fans of the Air Jordan 4 RM, but from everybody who purchased the pair, what I'm hearing is that they are super comfortable. So that's something to take in mind. I'm eventually going to pick up a pair on sale and just try them out. But if you're looking for something comfortable, this could be an option for you. Heads up on the SoleFly Air Jordan 12 Cafecito. Now, these actually dropped via SoleFly on December 6th, and there's going to be another release date. So as most of you expected, this pair will drop on the Sneakers app on December 13th. The retail price will be $225. Now, at the time of recording, I went to SoleFly's website, and they have a full-size run just sitting, with the exception of a few sizes here and there that have sold out. So if you like the shoes and you don't want to wait for the Sneakers app to release them, you can head over there. I know personally, if I want to get a Sneakers W, I don't want it to be on a shoe that I can just obtain elsewhere. I feel like they only give these wins out selectively. Meaning if I hit on a couple shoes, I feel like I'm not going to hit on something I really want for a while. And that's kind of what has happened to me. The last big hit that I had was the Travis Scott Air Jordan 1 Low OG Reverse Mocha. And I believe that same year, the Kobe 6 Mambacita, I hit on both of those. And then since then, I've only been able to pick up GR pairs. So my suggestion is if you want to buy them, head over to SoleFly's website. Official images recently popped up of the Air Jordan 12 Blueberry. This shoe might be top 3 or 4 releases from Jordan Brand in December of 2024. And for those who don't know, I recently dropped a review of them, so if you want to check that out, there will be a link in the description below. I also compared them to the OG Cherry Air Jordan 12 and the French Blue Air Jordan 12. Now with these official images, I definitely feel like they propped the shoes up to make them look a bit better, because most pairs will come looking kind of deformed. For example, they're laced up really tight, so there's already creases just below that bottom metal eyelet. And even with these official images, the shade of blue used, I don't feel like it represents the shoe that well. It's a little bit more bright. And what I suggested in my review video is that if you're looking to buy this shoe, I definitely would go in person, because this is a mass GR and the craftsmanship is kind of all over the place. So if you want a decent pair, I would definitely go in store and pick them up. Also, I did make an error in my review video. I said that the retail price was $210. My apologies, the retail price is actually $200. So $10 cheaper, that's definitely a plus. But if you're looking to buy, they drop on December 18th. They will be available in full family sizing. So grade school costs $150, preschool is priced at $90, and toddler sizes will cost $75. As most of you know, Jordan Brand is releasing a Year of the Snake collection to celebrate Chinese New Year. Now, we've seen a few pairs from the collection, including the Jordan Legacy 312 and the Air Jordan 11 Low, but now we have a first look at the Air Jordan 1 Low OG. So just like the 11s, this pair features a similar colorway, which comes dressed in Summit White, Photon Dust, and Barely Green. Now, although the quality of these images aren't the great, it does show off a few different angles, so at the very minimum, we can tell what's to come. Now, looking closer, this pair features ripstop on the swoosh, and it has textures that resembles shedding from a snake. I think that's a pretty cool detail about this shoe. As well, the tongue has that same snakeskin-like texture. It looks more like shedding since it's white. The pair also features photon dust leather on the mudguard, eye stays, and heel tab. Now, another unique element about this shoe is that the Jordan Wings logo is iridescent. Rumor has it that this element added to the shoe is inspired by snake eyes. I do think that, although it's small and it's only on the heels, that it does allow the pair to stand out a bit more. They also come with an aged midsole. We have white across the base, toe box, and then Barely Green runs across the semi-translucent rubber outsole. It almost makes it look like the outsole could glow in the dark, but I believe that's just the use of Barely Green. Also, this pair will come with a snakeskin textured hang tag, and it looks like it comes with some beads on the string of that hang tag. So that part is just like the 11s. But yeah, it seems that each year they drop an Air Jordan 1 Low OG part of the Chinese New Year collection. I've definitely liked previous Air Jordan 1 Low Chinese New Year releases. This one's a little bit on the plain side, but hey, I've seen some people really like them. Like always, let me know your thoughts down below. Now, this pair is expected to drop on January 22nd, along with the rest of the collection, and the retail price will be $160. So, I'm going to be honest with you guys, I'm a bit surprised that we already have a first look at the Travis Scott Fragment Air Jordan 1 Low OG Military Blue. Now, the reason for that is that they're not going to be released until September of 2025. Now, the only reason I'm thinking these are probably authentic, although I am surprised they got out, is because in some of the photos, you can see a sample tag on the liner. I mean, I guess that could be manipulated as well, but to my understanding, this is a first look, and at the very minimum, this is what they're going to look like. So, they're a little bit different compared to the 2021 sample. The overall blocking is on point. They do come with an aged midsole, aged laces, and it appears that they will come with a couple sets of laces. So we'll have military blue and black. Now, from the differences that I see on the retail pair is that on the right shoe, it'll have Fragment's double lightning bolt logo, and then on the left, it'll feature the Cactus Jack smiley face. So that wasn't on the sample. As well, it appears that the tongue is a little bit different. On the sample pair, it had more black on the upper part of the tongue and white on the trimming, but the retail pair will have white on the upper part and black on the trimming. So as for the differences, that's about all I see. Maybe I'm missing something, so like always, let me know down below. But other than that, the shoes feature leather throughout. We have white leather up top, the signature perforations on the toe, and then military blue, a shade that I'm a big fan of, hits the backward swoosh, Nike Air on the tongues, liner, and the rubber outsole. This is definitely a nice colorway. I don't see myself hitting because you already know the hype for them. You know they're going to be somewhat on the limited side. They're not going to be available just anywhere, so obtaining a pair won't be easy. And you know, with all the releases coming out in 2025, although I like this shoe a lot, I just can't justify myself paying resale for it. But if you're a fan, they're expected to be released on September 3rd, 2025, and the retail price will be $150. So it's time to move on to the exclusive news of this video. There's 4 shoes I'm going to go over, and the first one has a lot of potential. It's the Air Jordan 5 medium soft pink. Now, the image used is a mock-up. I'm not sure how the actual color blocking will be, but what I can confirm is that the shoes will feature a white, medium soft pink, and black colorway. Now, the mock-up put together, the overall blocking resembles that of the fire red black tongue Air Jordan 5, but it doesn't have the number 23 on the side. So I don't know if this shoe will have it or not. Probably not, if I had to guess. And believe it or not, this pair wasn't listed as a women's release. Now, that could change, but this is expected to drop in men's sizing. So whatever the blocking may be, they're expected to be a men's release. Now, as you know, 2025 will celebrate the 35th anniversary of the Air Jordan 5. They're going to drop a lot of different pairs. As for OGs, we have the fire red with a black tongue, we have the grapes, and the black metallic reimagined. Although that's technically different than the OG, I'm sure a lot of people still consider it an OG. As well, we have collaborations. For example, the Awake NY Air Jordan 5, which will drop in 2 colorways. We also have the A Ma Maniere Air Jordan 5, and potentially some more stuff. But there are some new colorways. Off the top of my head, I know there's a luminous green pair dropping. That will be a women's exclusive release. And then we have this one, which will be part of Jordan Brand's Holiday 2025 collection. Again, if they look just like this, this is a must pick up for me. I really like the blocking on these. I personally think if they do release like this, a lot of people would want to pick them up as well. But again, that's just my opinion. Like always, let me know yours down below. Now, as for the release details, they will drop Holiday 2025, which means a release will take place between October and December of 2025. Also, I don't have a retail price as of yet. They should be $200, although it's possible they could retail at $210. For this shoe, a lot of people were claiming that the Chicago Air Jordan 1 Low OG was returning because of the colorway. And it doesn't make sense, and I'm going to talk about that more later on in the video. But I can confirm that Nigel Sylvester will have another collaboration with Jordan Brand in 2025, and this time it's going to be on the Air Jordan 1 Low OG. This pair is known as Nitro. Now, I have no idea why they're being called Nitro, but the colorway used on this shoe will be black, muslin, and varsity red. Now, the image used is a mock-up. I'm not sure how they're going to look, but I can confirm the collaboration is coming. This marks the second collaboration between Nigel and Jordan Brand in 2025. They're going to be releasing the Nigel Sylvester Air Jordan 4 Bike Air. That will be for the spring, but for fall, they're going to drop the Air Jordan 1 Low OG. Now, currently we're in 2024. As you know, Nigel helped jumpstart the release of the Air Jordan 4 RM, dropping 2 colorways. And his first collaboration with Jordan Brand was on the Air Jordan 1 High OG back in 2018. I believe before that he also had an SB Dunk High, but also in 2022, Nigel was gifted a black version of his Air Jordan 1 High OG, and the color blocking somewhat resembles the actual colorway that will be used on this shoe. So I kind of wonder if it'll resemble that sample pair that he was gifted, but in low top form. I know people are saying that the Air Jordan 1 has kind of died, but I do know that the Air Jordan 1 Low has gained some hype. You can definitely tell because Jordan Brand is releasing more low top pairs than highs in 2025. So they're definitely leaning into that. Personally, I do like the lows. I just feel like I can't pull them off for some reason. Also, one more thing, this pair is expected to feature a larger swoosh. A lot of the Air Jordan 1 lows dropping in 2025 will have the larger swoosh. Now, as for a release date for this pair, they're going to be released in fall 2025. Now, the pair before this was holiday. The next two pairs will be holiday. And I was meaning to leak this last week. So if you watch the Gamma Air Jordan 11 and the Air Jordan 11 Rare Air video, I talked about cutting some stuff out of that video and adding it into the next one. And this is one of the shoes. There's also another shoe, which will be later on. Also, I don't have a retail price as of yet. In the last video, I leaked that the Air Jordan 11 Gamma would be returning during the holiday 2025 season, more than likely in December, but I also announced that Jordan Brand would be releasing the Air Jordan 11 Rare Air. So that's two pairs, and both of those are releasing in men's sizing. Now, as most of you know, each year Jordan Brand also releases a women's exclusive pair, and I have details on that pair, which will be known as the Air Jordan 11 Cell. Now, just a heads up, the image used is just a mock-up. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to see the shoes, but I was shared details of this pair. Now, this pair will feature a Cell, pearl gray, white, and metallic silver colorway. Now, there was no mention of the shoes featuring velvet or anything like that, so the mock-up is based purely on the colorway, and then again, we're kind of guessing here, but if they drop like this is definitely clean. I don't know if holiday season will be the best time of year to drop a shoe like this unless, you buy them and you save them for spring and summer. Now, I have a feeling that they may feature some sort of special detailing on the shoes, although that part isn't confirmed, and they will feature a higher cut patent leather as well as a translucent outsole. So, like I mentioned, holiday 2025 is when they're going to be released, which means that they're going to drop between October and December, and the retail price will be $230. Now, as far as extended sizing goes, I haven't received that information. I believe the last pair, the Velvet Bread Air Jordan 11, did not drop in extended women's sizing, so I don't believe these will. But they should also be available in preschool and toddler sizing. Also, if I forgot to mention, the retail price is $230. More exclusive news for today. The Air Jordan 1 Low OG Chicago will return during the holiday 2025 season. Now, some of you may say, hey, I saw this information going around. Well, let me explain. So, details went out about an upcoming release of an Air Jordan 1 Low OG that was going to be dressed in black, muslin, and varsity red. Now, with that information, the individual used a mock-up of the Chicago Air Jordan 1. They also stated that the shoes would be released during the fall 2025 season. Now, there was no indication on the post that it was a Chicago shoe, but since there was a mock-up present, a lot of outlets ran with that the Chicago Air Jordan 1 Low OG would be returning. Now, on that post, not only did we have that colorway, but the style code. Now, the colorway of black, muslin, and varsity red, and the style code that was used is for the previously talked about Nigel Sylvester Air Jordan 1 Low OG. So again, people did run with that information and said that it was confirmed when in fact at that time it wasn't. And as you guys know, I didn't talk about it. Some people did ask in the comments if I knew anything, and I said, hey, I'm just checking, and I was waiting to get my holiday lineup. And the Air Jordan 1 Low OG Chicago is actually part of the holiday 2025 collection. Now, what's funny is a lot of people talked about this shoe being released in black, muslin, and varsity red. Now, I've been around sneakers for quite some time, and I'm sure you guys have as well. And I don't believe there's ever been a Chicago shoe that released in the colorway of black, muslin, and varsity red. So what that means is, since black is the main color used in the colorway, the shoe will come dressed in mostly that shade, so it would feature mostly black. And then in this case, we would have muslin and accents of varsity red. So almost like it would have been a reverse Chicago colorway. Now, as for the actual Chicago Air Jordan 1 Low OG, they will feature a totally different colorway, which is varsity red, black, and summit white. Now, that is a Chicago colorway. Also, the style code is totally different from what everybody was running with. And the first pair that was talked about as the Chicago is labeled an NRG. This pair is not. This is labeled the OG. But nevertheless, I just wanted to clarify that because when people leaked that information, the details weren't out. That's a totally different shoe, but nevertheless, they are releasing. Now, the images that I'm using is from the 2016 release. Now, that is the first time that the Air Jordan 1 Low OG Chicago was released. Although this is an OG colorway, it was always on the high. Since then, Jordan Brand has released different iterations of the shoes, like cleats, golf shoes, even a slip-on version. I'm sure I'm forgetting certain models. The shoes are also expected to feature a larger swoosh. So just like the 2016 release, I know a lot of people like the larger swoosh, so that's definitely a plus. Now, technically, Jordan Brand could have put this on the Air Jordan 1 Low 85. I'm not sure why they chose the Air Jordan 1 Low OG, maybe because technically it's not an OG pair, but what I've heard and gathered that there is a slight, and I mean slight possibility that it could switch to the Air Jordan 1 Low 85. Now, another great factor about this release is that it won't have an aged midsole. Now, if it was that black muslin and varsity red pair that people were running with, that would have meant that the shoes would be aged. So in this case, they're not going to be aged, which I feel is a good thing because even I myself are just getting a bit tired of the aged look. I've been seeing it on every shoe, and I feel that, let's stick to white, or in this case, summit white. Now, they will be released in men's sizing for sure. I'm not sure about grade skull and down. There's a possibility it will be. And like I mentioned, they're going to drop during the holiday 2025 season, which means a release will take place between October and December. Also, the retail price is expected to be $140. So let me know your thoughts on the Air Jordan 1 Low OG Chicago making a return in 2025. Already a crazy lineup of releases. We still got more to come. I'm hearing some pretty crazy stuff. I'm just waiting to confirm as far as collaborations go. So like always, be subscribed. I will be dropping that info soon. And that's going to do it for this video. Like always, greatly appreciate you guys for watching. If you have a second and haven't done so already, also appreciate a thumbs up. And if you're new here, subscribe by hitting the button below. One more thing, if you haven't done so yet, make sure to turn on the notification bell so you can be alerted every time I drop a new video. Now, just a reminder, if you haven't checked out my review on the Air Jordan 12 Blueberry, there will be a link in the description below. As well, a couple weeks back, I did drop a review on the Air Jordan 11 Legend Blue. There will be a link in the description below for that video. Now, as far as upcoming videos this week, I'm going to be dropping a couple shorts as well as another news video. I still have some stuff to go over. And I might, and I mean I might do a review, and it's looking like the next review I do will be on the Air Jordan 3 Black Cat. I was able to source the OG pair from a friend, and I haven't pulled the trigger on buying the 2025 retro, although I know I could get them sometime this week. But I might hold off on dropping that video this week because I really need to hold off and focus on putting together the 2025 Air Jordan release dates ultimate guide video. I've been working on it quite a bit, putting images together, information together. I'm just waiting to get a little bit better so I can record because I don't want to sound all congested for a video that could be used for the entire year. But yeah, for this video, let me know what you liked or disliked down in the comment section below. As well, if you have any questions, make sure to leave that down below. Again, thanks for watching. Stay tuned to SneakerFiles.com. And if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe.